heading into the February 2025 State of Play. I was not expecting much from Sony, but they definitely delivered, in my opinion, and definitely came with some surprises that I did not see coming. So today we're going to take a look at some of the games that were mentioned at the State of Play. We got a new gameplay trailer for Borderlands 4. I wasn't expecting that to show up here, but we got a new look at some of the game's mechanics, some of the different locations. We even got a release date for the game. We're looking at a September 23rd release date as of right now. Of course, delays could happen, but fingers crossed it won't get delayed. It'll be a great birthday present for me with my birthday being on September 20th. So I'm looking forward to that. What we seen in the trailer looks pretty good. Graphics look good. Gameplay looks smooth. Enemies look interesting. One of the main things I really liked about the trailer is all the gore in the game. I know some of the previous games have a little bit of gore. I think the very first game had way more gore than the following game. So it's good to see them going back to that. And we also got word that there will be another State of Play event just focused on Borderlands 4. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. I also plan on releasing another video going a little more in depth of what was shown on the trailer and any other Borderlands 4 info we have already. So if you would like to catch that video when it is released, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Next up, after many years of Days Gone fans wanting something new from Days Gone, finally got word of a Days Gone remaster launching on PS5 April 25th. You know, we already had the bad news of Sony's Ben's game they were working on got canceled or whatever. So this is kind of like, hey, well, at least we got this coming from you guys. So that's one thing the studio can look forward to. I know a lot of people would rather just have a brand new game from them, especially after the fact that the game they were working on wasn't Days Gone and it's got canceled. So a lot of people will look at that as hey, they should have been working on Days Gone the whole time instead of whatever else Sony had them working on. No, a lot of people will probably be mad that you have to pay $10 for the upgrade. At least it'll come with some new game modes, including a survival arcade mode, horde assault, a permadeath mode, and more. Hopefully Sony sees enough interest in the remaster to, you know, get a second game going in the series as well. We got to look at a game. It's from Supermassive Games. You might be familiar with them from Until Dawn, the Dark Picture Anthology game. So this should give you an idea of what kind of game this is going to be. Directive 8020 is an all-new cinematic sci-fi horror adventure that blends intense survival gameplay with meaningful choices and a branching storyline. From what I've seen on the trailer, it should be pretty interesting. I know some of the Dark Picture games have mixed reviews. Some of them are better than others. Until Dawn, or when it originally released, I remember it being a well-received game. I know the re-release of it hasn't done as well. They feel like it's worse than the original release some kind of way. But hey, hopefully they get it right with Directive 8020. I think this reveal caught me more off guard than the Borderlands 4. We got a teaser trailer for Digimon Storytime Stranger, a brand new Digimon game. It was looking real bleak for a new Digimon game after we got Digimon Survive. You know, a lot of people were disappointed by that game being a visual novel, thinking it was like a typical Digimon game. I'm happy to feel like since I bought Digimon Survive, we got a new Digimon game here today. If I hadn't bought Digimon Survive, we wouldn't have got this. So y'all welcome. The latest installment in the Digimon story series, Digimon Storytime Stranger, is set to release in 2025 on the PS5. In this JRPG, players will travel between the human world and the fantastic realms of the digital world, and features an improved battle system, fan favorite characters like Agumon and Omegamon, as well as other Digimon in brand new roles. So I'm looking forward to it. Any new Digimon games gives me more hope in my dream of having Digimon World 1, 2, or 3 re-released or remastered, whatever, to get them on current gen hardware. So more power to them. Keep the Digimon games coming. We got to look at a game called Dreams of Another, and I instantly assumed it was the next thing from the Dreams game like we had previously. Thought it was a sequel, but nah, this is something from Q Games. It is the newest addition to the Pixel Junk series. It's coming to PS5 and PSVR later this year. It is said to be a third-person exploration action game built around that theme of there is no creation without destruction. Rather than destroying objects by shooting, your shots materialize and rebuild the world. This unconventional mechanic offers a gameplay experience that challenges the norms of the genre and invites players into a whole new dimension. The trailer looks interesting. I really don't know what's going on it. I think it really caught my eye when the guy smacked the clown with, looked like he smacked him with a stack of money, and the clown wig and nose flew off. I just found it hilarious when I was watching. I'm pretty sure I laughed out loud on stream watching that. But that's what caught my eye originally. But then when I started hearing what they were saying about the game, I'm very interested to see what they mean by there is no creation without destruction, and it's a first-person shooter game or a third-person shooter game. So very interested to see how that plays out. Could be a good game, could be an okay game. We just have to wait and see. We got another look at Hell Is Us. If you're not familiar with it, it is said to be an action-adventure game set in a war-torn country where players must unravel the mysteries of their past and confront the human darkness that fuels the chaos. I think people are pretty hyped about that game. Looks pretty interesting. Don't know if it's something I will be checking out personally, but I would love to watch somebody play it. So I'll definitely be on the lookout for people playing that. We also got the release date for that, September 4th. So there's 2 games revealed for a September release. We got Hell Is Us and Borderlands 4. September is shaping up for it to be a big month. With those 2 games added, who knows what else could be coming out in September. The 2023 action-adventure RPG Lies of P is receiving a prequel in the form of DLC, Lies of P Overture, transporting you to the city of Krat back in the time of grandeur before its collapse. On the brink of the puppet frenzy massacre, you will follow the legendary Stalker, a mysterious guide, through the untold stories and chilling secrets. As Geppetto's deadly puppet, you'll journey through Krat and its surrounding, uncover hidden secrets, and face epic battles that shape the past and the future of Lies of P. It looks pretty interesting. I didn't play much of Lies of P when it came out. I played like the demo or the beta or whatever before it was released, but never got back around to playing the full game. I did watch a couple of people play it, but the DLC is very interesting. I thought it looked pretty cool. I like the idea of going back to the city before everything bad happened and kind of showing you how it got that way. So I'm pretty interested to see how that goes. We got a new look on another game that's been shown for a while and has a lot of hype around it, and people are very interested in. Lost Soul Aside. We got the release date, PS5 and PC, May 30th. I know a lot of people will be happy that it's launching on both day one. And yeah, like I said, this is one of those crazy action adventure looking games where you can't believe the gameplay is real gameplay when you see it. In my opinion, feels like the next trend the industry is kind of going in. We had all the battle royales and the live service games. And now I feel like the next one is going to be like the crazy action adventure games that aren't necessarily quote unquote soul-like games. They're more actiony, more adventure-y, not necessarily having the same mechanics as a soul-like game where you have like the stamina bars or the cooldowns and stuff like that kind of prevents you from doing things a certain amount of times, or like the extremely hard bosses or normal fights. More so games that are more so based on the action aspect and like crazy visuals. I feel like this game suits that perfectly. I do think it's going to do well when it comes out. Like I said, I think this is like the next trend, and I think people really enjoy those kinds of games. It should be a successful release for Sony. We got a crazy new look at Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. No, it's the remake of Snake Eater, remaster, whatever they want to call it, coming out August 28th. This new trailer gave us our first in-game look of the Cobra unit, and they also showed that the Ape Escape minigame will return to the game as well, if you guys remember that from their original release. Every time they show the graphics for Delta Snake Eater, they just look crazier and crazier. I'm amazed at how good the game looks. I've never been a huge Metal Gear fan, but Snake Eater was the first Metal Gear game I've ever seen like gameplay of, or anybody played back in the day. My homies used to play it. So I'm interested to see somebody play through this, because I don't think I'm gonna play through it. I ain't with all the stealth in the games. I'm trying to go in and get the job done. I ain't trying to sneak around. But I would definitely check out people playing this. Looking forward to that. See that August, September time, games are lining up. This next game I was really interested in because I feel like we don't really get games like this too often anymore. Just from how it looked, you don't really get games that have, I guess you could say, like action, shooting, driving. I'm guessing it's going to be some walking around out in open environments or something like that. We just have to wait and see. But I feel like we don't really get games like that anymore. I guess it's kind of put me in the mind state of almost I don't want to say a Grand Theft Auto or a Saints Row, because this game seems more about its stories, more story based or narrative driven is how they would describe it. But Mind's Eye, definitely puts me in that kind of like action-y Grand Theft Auto type of game. It looks like something I really want to play. It is said that Mind's Eye is a narrative-driven single-player action-adventure thriller set in the not-too-distant future in the fictional desert city of Red Rock, where artificial intelligence and human greed collide to bring Earth to the precipice of collapse. It's a compelling story with strategic combat, high-octane driving, and endless entertainment from the game director Leslie Benzies. So yeah, that game right there really caught my eye. And the show is probably the game I'm most curious about that I didn't know about. Obviously very excited about Borderlands and Digimon, but I already knew about Borderlands and Digimon. Digimon is Digimon. You know what you're getting with that. With Mind's Eye, I'm not sure what I'm actually getting. Also, I do plan to do a deeper dive video about Mind's Eye. So if you want to check that out, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. But definitely looking forward to checking out Mind's Eye. Hopefully it lives up to what we've seen so far in the trailers. They did 2 trailers. I think one was like about the story and one was more like about the gameplay that they're trying to show off for it. And my only thing about the gameplay one is I wish it was like actually somebody playing the game, you know, showing me a person playing the game. I actually want to see how it plays. But, you know, it's the first look we've seen of it. Surely we'll get something else showing us a little bit more about that game. But Mind's Eye is definitely something to keep an eye on. I'm not the biggest Omnimusha fan, but when they showed Omnimusha Way of the Sword that's getting a 2026 release, it definitely looked very cool to me. It's one of those games where you're like, wow, that looks good. That's cool. I don't think it's something I'm gonna play because it looks like it might be kind of hard, you know, but who knows? It might be something I give a go, but it definitely looks cool. So shout out to them for Onimusha. And I think they did have a re-release of one of the older games that got shown off too. Not sure when that was releasing, but Onimusha 2, I think it was. So yeah, shout out to all the Onimusha fans out there. Y'all eating. We got to look at a game called Saros. And as soon as I seen it, I felt like it was something to do with Returnal. Little did I know it was coming from Housemarque, the company that makes Returnal. So I was very close to getting it right when I guessed the game. It is set to launch next year, 2026. And it is an all-new action game that tells the haunting story of a lost off-world colony on Karakosa under an ominous eclipse. You play as Arjun Devraj, a powerful Sartari enforcer who will stop at nothing to find who he is looking for. An extended gameplay will be released later this year. I thought the trailer was interesting though, and I think it said something about something happening every time the sun explodes or goes away or something like that. So that's what first made me think it was like Returnal. Yeah, it gave me that the sense of replaying something over and over after something crazy has happened. So if you like Returnal, you'll most likely like Saros too. So be on the lookout for that. We got to look at a new feature coming up in the new WWE wrestling game, 2K25. They're adding in, if you're familiar with NBA 2K, how they have the park and the city and all that for your My Player, they're adding in a thing called the Island for their wrestling game. I don't like this city in 2K. I feel like it's like too much stuff that's distracting you from actually playing basketball. But for some reason, I feel like this kind of thing fits more in with the WWE wrestling games. I don't know why. It just seems like to me it fits in more. And I'm more likely to try out the Island on WWE than I am to go play in the city on 2K. I don't know when the last time I actually explored one of those worlds in 2K. If I were to get WWE 2K25, it would be to check out this Island mode. Let's see what it says about the island. For the first time in franchise history, step outside of the ropes and onto the island. In this immersive WWE themed world, complete quests, take on challenges, compete in live events, and upgrade, customize your My Superstar through multiple storyline chapters. So for me, the most appealing thing about that is the thought of them adding in stuff from back when I used to watch wrestling, back in like the Attitude Era and times like that. That's all I think about when I think about the things they could put in there for your character. So that would be like my biggest thing about it. If I were to get it and they didn't have any of the Attitude Era stuff in there ever, I would be very disappointed. So it's probably not a title I would go out and grab based off of that. But I do think it's cool that they added that to the game. And I'm surprised it took them that long, with that being such a big thing they did for 2K basketball. I'm surprised it took them that long to figure out how to incorporate it into their wrestling game. Feel like it's home there. So yeah, that's definitely going to be something I keep an eye on. See how that mode is received and what kind of updates and things like that. I think one of the biggest surprises or well-received reveals from the event was Tides of Annihilation. It's another game that came out of nowhere. I think the developer of the game has like no other work. They came out of nowhere. People are trying to find info on them, can't find them because the game looks so crazy. It looks so good. It follows, again, what I think the next trend is going to be for a lot of companies. These action adventure games that are like over the top action that look too good to be true. With this trailer, we actually got 2 trailers for this, if I'm not mistaken. We got like one trailer that was like, I would say, more story focused or large scale focused, where it showed like the character scaling these large creatures, similar to like trying to think what game recently had like some giant creatures fighting. I guess Final Fantasy 16, how they had the giant battles on there, but instead of you being the same size, you're still the same small person. I guess like Shadow of the Colossus, you can kind of compare it to. And you're like climbing over the bodies, traversing the different environmental areas and stuff like that, and showing these huge creatures. But then you got the second trailer, or the second half of this trailer. I think it was like a 10-minute gameplay demo or something like that. And it just shows the combat with your character doing all these crazy moves that you're like, is there really a move? It looks pretty good, especially for coming from a company that nobody's heard of or can find any info on. The game looks pretty good. And again, you don't really see any kind of like stamina meters or cooldowns and stuff like that to show you that it's not really trying to be a Souls-like game. It's trying to be like one of those straight up action adventure games. You think of like Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, games like that. I think it's going to do good. I don't think we got like any kind of release date for it or anything like that. Matter of fact, I think when it popped up on the screen, it just said it was in development for PS5. So who knows when we're going to get to see that. It could be a while for all we know, but the fact that they showed a good bit of gameplay for it is promising. So I think it's gonna do well whenever it does release. And shout outs to them if this is their first game they've ever made. Big shout outs to them. That was just some of the games they're shown. There were plenty I didn't even go over that was shown at the event. I think this is like one of the best state of plays we've gotten so far. I think I've seen people saying it wasn't that good, but I don't know how you can call that event not that good. They showed a lot of games, way more than expected, a variety of games. And like, they showed a good bit of games that are supposed to come out this year. That's the one thing I kind of hate about these events. They show a lot of games that are supposed to come out in the future, and they either keep getting delayed or they just never come out. You know, I like an event that shows me games I can actually play that year, you know. Of course, any of the games that were shown can be delayed. Delays happen. But I like that a lot of the games were for this year. You know, Sony needs a bounce back year after a lackluster 2024 when they didn't really do much. So 2025, hopefully they get some games out there, bring them back some goodwill, especially with the momentum they're gaining with the addition of Microsoft games coming to PlayStation. PlayStation having their own titles coming out this year will help keep that momentum going and hopefully lead us into even better games next year. Let me know down in the comments which games from the event did you enjoy. Any of these games you plan to pre-order, you already know you're going to get, or any of the games you need to see a little more info on before you decide to spend your hard-earned money on. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, share it with your friends, and be sure to check back here daily for more content from us at On The Sticks. Thanks.